didn't notice the shoes. You didn't use Chance the Rapper. I gave you some good quotes. And you just ignored me.
Good to go? Everybody good? Oh, you want to start us off?
Coach, just first off, how good was it to see Brazil out there today, and what are some of the final steps in his rehab that you need to see from him before it's a full go?
Well, I mean, he played, 19 minutes, which coming into the game, the thought process was really between 4, and 6 minutes a half. So he went a little bit over what the plan coming into the game, but he felt good. I think he knew he needed the reps. We certainly felt like he needed the reps. We just don't go live that much. I mean, we practice a little bit more like a football team where we're in stations and drill work. So he misses a little bit of live action based on how we go about practice. And he's still got a ways to go conditioning-wise, but, you saw the explosiveness on the dunk, which we've seen, and he was really good the other day when we went live in Pro Day. And I think it's just a matter of getting his timing back. But he wanted to stay out there, which is a great sign as well.
Khalif also returning tonight and sneakily led you guys in scoring. I mean, how much of a boost is it to get that kind of efficient offensive game, and do you want to see him maybe even be a little bit more aggressive than he was tonight? Yeah, I mean,
the thing that I was most impressed with our team, especially in the first half, I thought our ball movement was crazy good. I know at halftime we had 101 passes. I do not know what it ended up being, but we'll find out here in a second as soon as they tally the numbers. But great ball movement. Look, KB is a guy that is arguably one of the country's best free throw shooters. We saw a couple years ago how important a guy that can make foul shots in late games is for a team, especially with the amount of close games you have in league play and close games that you'll have in the Bahamas. So really important. I mean, for a guy that has been out for a long time, which is, has been out for quite some time, most of the summer. I thought he came in and shot the ball with great aggressiveness, and he's an explosive scorer.
Coach, I know L was giving you guys some scoring punch there early. Then you look up at the end of the night, he's got 4 assists, no turnovers, 4 steals. I guess that's what you're looking for out of your point guard.
L was phenomenal. Some of those guys that I've seen through the red and white game, through Pro Day, through practices, a guy like L, like his minutes are, they were limited tonight just because, he's going to be out there a lot for us. Devo obviously is going to play more minutes than what he did. But this is the deepest team we've had for sure. I thought that guys checked into the game. They played the way they were supposed to play, and we have some explosive scorers in Davenport and Battle that can really score the ball, and L's playing the right way, the way that we want him to play, and then we just we have 2 fierce competitors in T Mark and Devo on both sides of the ball, and so some really good things tonight. We got to rebound the ball better for sure, especially a week from today.
And then your defensive end of the floor. I know those guys are maybe a little bit overmatched there, but to hold anybody under 40, they had 1 3-pointer and they turned it over 20 times. It's got to feel pretty good to set the tone on that end.
Yeah, I mean, coming into the game, I mean, we did personnel, but we did not do any scheme stuff. We didn't walk through any plays because we didn't know what plays they would run, quite frankly. The whole game plan was no threes. So to look at the stat sheet and see that they went 1 of 20, great job, and the one they hit, we'll look at and see why they hit it.
Hey, Eric, I'm curious what you thought of Chandler Lawson defensively. It seemed like in that first half he was either getting a hand on a ball, steal, block, kind of you name it.
Yeah, I thought Chandler was, first of all, the 3 he made and took was what, we need him and want him to do that with his feet set. But I thought great defensive activity. He was a really good help defender for us tonight in the post. Really happy with the way that Chandler played and rebounded the ball as well.
Transition 16-6 advantage, but Going back to that secondary transition, it seems like you were talking about the passing, and the ball was moving before guys were back in set. I think Brazil's first bucket in this first half, everybody was inside the 3-line, yet they still weren't set, and he got it off the glass. Can you talk about that ball movement before the defense ever gets set?
Yeah, I mean, we've really worked on this Milwaukee Bucks flow game. We've spent a ton of time. I didn't know really how it was going to work. We ran it 2 years ago, and then we gave up on it a little bit too early. And when we went back this summer and watched film, we were like, why did we give up on this? Because it was pretty good on film. It's what Milwaukee ran 2 years ago, not last year, but what they ran 2 years ago, and our guys enjoy running it in practice, and I was really pleased with kind of how we played outside of our normal half-court sets. And we have so much to clean up in our half-court sets, but we still have a little bit of time.
And then on Davenport, I think you guys started 2 of 9 from 3, hit a couple early. He comes in, I think he ends up 3 of 5, and y'all kind of caught fire from behind the arc. We saw that in red, white, and even that open part of practice. Please talk about him and his progression as that guy, maybe.
Yeah, really, really quick release. The guys look for him when he's in. I mean, he's a guy that's going to take a high volume of shots in his minutes. We need to try to find him in transition. We need to try to run some plays for him to come off some screening actions. Yeah, but he's got incredible confidence shooting the ball, and has really, really deep range.
Hey, Coach. I wanted to ask about Bay Fall. I know he didn't have the most minutes out there, but I was wondering what you saw from him out there in live action.
Yeah, we thought it was important to get Bay a start, tonight. Obviously, Kai Mitchell started basically every game last year, and obviously Devo Davis, has been a starter for quite some time. And, we brought those 2 guys off the bench tonight. TB is a guy that's been a predominantly starter for us, so we brought all 3 of those guys off the bench. I'm not sure what we will do Saturday against Purdue, what the lineup will be, but I thought Bay did a good job playing his minutes. I thought he was active as a shot blocker. He ran the floor hard. And he's just a young player who's got to continue to progress, and but we wanted to give him an opportunity to start, which he got tonight.
Eric, before I forget, what was up with Graham not playing?
Yeah, back spasms. Yep. So he had back spasms, was out about a week, practiced one day, and then it locked back up on him. Have no idea what it will look like. You would think in a week that he would be able to be in uniform next week, and that would be the hope and the thought.
And then I know it's an exhibition game, but Louisville had such a horrible year, and
they lost to a D2 team.
Yeah, they lost to a D2 team,
which we talked about today. You can ask him.
I understand you guys showed video of the teams that lost, including Louisville. I mean, it's an exhibition game. What do you think it meant to L? Not after such a horrible experience last year, a year ago, to start off well and play well tonight. You guys to win big.
Well, I think that L's excited to play with some surrounding pieces that he can show people his willingness to be a passer and a ball distributor and play more like a true point guard. And I think we've seen that since the day that he stepped on campus. And he's tonight he, played with great pace, didn't turn it over. I was really happy with our lack of turnovers tonight. I mean, we had a limited number of turnovers, and 3 of them I think were moving screens. So you eliminate that part of our turnover game, and L, did a great job taking care of the ball.
And we know Khalif's been out a fair amount. How goes again? I know it's an exhibition game against Tyler, but how good to see him come in and have some good minutes when he's been out some.
Yeah, I thought he offensively really played his minutes well. He's got a quick release. He's got great confidence. You can isolate him a little bit. Which we did a couple times. We got some guys that can shoot, and some explosiveness and some streakiness as well. Davenport can get streaky hot, and Joseph Pinion can get streaky hot, and KB can get streaky hot. So we we have some guys that we're going to have to tinker with on a nightly basis to try to see who we can get a favorable matchup to, where they can get some clean looks from three. Those guys in particular.
Coach, I was wondering what you thought of the defense as a whole, and kind of fouling and help defense as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, second half when they were in the bonus, we've got to do a much better job of not using our hands. But we want to be a really ultra-aggressive team. We want to be a team that has physicality, and I thought we did that. I thought our guards were really physical. I think interior, we have to probably be a lot more physical than we showed tonight at the 4 and the 5 spot. Physicality's got to get a lot more aggressive, especially what we're looking at a week from tonight. What a great challenge! What a great atmosphere it's going to be next Saturday. Against the number 3 team in the country, coming in here with all those returners and the Big Ten champs with their whole roster back. It's going to be an incredible challenge this early in the year.
You mentioned Pinion just a second ago. I think he missed his first 3 shots, then came out strong in the second half. Is that kind of what you want to see from him to stay confident, even if they're not falling early?
Yeah, I mean, right now, Joseph has the green light, to shoot when he feels he's open, and KB does, and even T. Mark. I mean, he shot some pull-up jumpers. We were really aggressive shooting the ball from 3. I mean, 34 threes attempted. When we probably could have gotten to the foul line at a much higher clip.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is that a number you're okay with, or would you like to see more aggressiveness going to the basket, things like that?
I mean, if the results are like this, Hutch, it's not going to be like, So we're going to have to mix it up a little bit more. I thought we were a little aggressive from beyond the arc.
You brought up the Purdue game. Just like last year when you tested yourself at Texas in exhibition season, you started to see more of a rotation early in that game. I know the second half got a little out of hand. Everybody played. Do you have a vision for a rotation coming into this game? Is it going to be a little tighter? And what did you see tonight that maybe helps form that maybe you didn't know coming into tonight?
Well, one, just the health of Battle. I think that he looked fresh. He looked healthy. We have no idea on Graham, obviously. So I don't know, Kevin, I don't know who's going to be healthy come next week, because we have a week of physical practices. I mean, we're going to have to really work on our post defense. We're going to really have to work on defending the 3. When you play someone in the Big Ten, I mean, that's as physical a league as there is. But I'm excited. I mean, regardless of results next week, it's going to be great for us for sure to play a team that's they're going to come in here like a well-oiled machine, because I mean, they know their roles, and they know who they are, and they're really, really well coached. So it's quite the challenge, like I said, to think that, but we need it. I mean, we got some tough games coming up right out of the gate, and we got 4 games before we go to the Bahamas and then Duke, and so we might as well challenge ourselves as quick as possible.
Coach, you got to set the rotation every year, but this season there's a little bit more depth maybe. I mean, is that an enjoyable process for you, something you stress about, just kind of assigning minutes this early in the season?
No, I'm not going to stress about, the minutes, because, I mean, I'm in the weight room with them. I run on the treadmill, and I'm with them every day at practice, and so, I mean, there's certain guys that have earned stuff, but yeah, we're deeper for sure, and so if you're deeper, you can look at. We've studied rotations in Final Fours. We've studied NCAA tournament teams rotation. I've read 4 articles on hockey rotations and line changes. This morning, guys were laughing at me on staff. They saw that I was reading an article on the Rangers because they know I'm a baseball fan, and I told them that it was the New York Rangers, not the Texas Rangers. So, I mean, we're not going to sub like a hockey team, but at least I'm studying it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Good meeting.